May I invite Shona to come up so we can light the inaugural lamp? Nilima, will you help us with the...
Upwards, upwards.
May I invite Dr. De Cruz, Director, Tata Memorial Hospital?
Good afternoon, everybody. Devika, Lisa, Shona, Sudeep, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start by responding to your taunt as to whether I joined breast. You give me a chance to come to this kind of a great meeting, sit next to Lisa every time, I'll change to dress. But I'm not sure whether Sudeep and Dr. Badwe would enjoy that. Huh? But anyway, a good morning to all of you all. It's really a privilege to be part of this inaugural ceremony of the 4th International Breast Cancer Survivors Conference. I must start with the three things that have happened, if you ask me, during these 31 years globally. One, the incidence of cancer is increasing. Is that emphasis has changed away from treatment to quality of life. Gone are the days when we started our training, we only treated patients and then just left them that way. Today we have emphasis on quality of life, which is as if not more important. And there are various aspects to this quality of life: physical, emotional, psychological, monetary, fertility issues, going back into your employment. And what better a forum can you have than this kind of a meeting? We as doctors are only discussing head and neck, which is functional and cosmetic, and that's the area of my expertise. I'm sure I'm going to drive our leaders to do this kind of a conference.
Well, hello, good afternoon, almost afternoon to everyone. And I do have pink eye, so I think I actually got into the theme a little bit too much. And, and in fact, I just wanted to share that, I came here today intending to wear my sunglasses because I was feeling a little bit self-conscious, as you do, that, my eye is swollen. And then I just had a moment right now, actually, when I entered this room, and there's just such an incredible, joyous, positive, assertive, affirmative energy in here. And I had that moment where, because sometimes we forget. We forget who we are, and we forget our role in the world, and we forget that we are not just what other people think that we are. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I have pink eye. It's okay. I've been through a lot worse. And I think that, again, as a survivor, or as Dr. De Cruz so lovely in a way put it, survivor is a term that we use quite often And I do feel that we need to come up with something else, and perhaps that might be another session that we could, that could be actually integrated into this incredible conference. But before I sort of go off on my own personal tangent, I really wanted to thank everyone who's here on stage, Devika, for reaching out to me. First of all, when she reached out to me, Devika is a dear old friend, and someone that I also greatly admire and draw a lot of inspiration from. She went through her cancer battle much before myself, and believe me that when you are in the middle of your own personal experience, you do tend to draw from everyone else around you, and anyone who has gone or tread that path before you provides a really, really deeply valuable sense of hope and inspiration and so many things. So when Devika mentioned the conference, and the content of the conference is what truly, truly riveted my attention. Because of course, again, nobody can understand what you're going through. Even the people that love you the most, your family, hopefully you have a very caring physician, your entire support system, your children, your friends, your community. Nobody, I think you might agree with me, everyone in this room has been through it. Nobody can completely comprehend exactly what it is to tread that path and then to come out the other end. So there are so many issues to discuss. There's still so much work to be done. And on a personal level, I often like to say that my true healing journey began as soon as I left the hospital. As soon as I left those hospital doors, and I still remember it was actually a rotating door, and I almost felt like a little bit anxious. I thought maybe I should just keep going around and go back into the hospital. Reason being, of course, is that when you're in the middle of treatment, it's a kind of a SOS trauma emergency situation where often you'll get the best attention. You'll get your physician's attention, you'll get the nurse's attention, and your family's attention, and people are coming every single day to the hospital with food, with, encouraging words and things like that. Then, suddenly, you're finished with your treatment. Well, does that mean that you're okay, that you should just be kicked out the door and just integrate back into society? And that is actually, I think, the most valuable time for a cancer survivor is to, first of all, ask certain questions of yourself. What is my new normal? How do I meet life again? And what kind of life am I going to lead? What are the lessons that I have drawn from this that I can actually integrate into my life in a positive way? And how can I be an example for others? There's a lot of, I think, really, really profound issues that need to be discussed, that need to be shared, and that only someone who's been through it can completely comprehend, as I mentioned. So this is such a valuable conference, and I salute everyone who is a part of this, and I salute all the incredible survivors and warriors who are here today. You have so much to share. And again, we have to connect, celebrate, I have to see what was the other, conquer we've done. But there are very valuable life lessons that need to be shared. And also, I think that something that also needs to be emphasized is that the healing journey continues. And the true healing journey, because I believe that healing occurs not just in the body, but also beyond the body. So, of course, your physicians will take care of everything that needs to be taken care of with concern to your body and healing your body through cancer. But there is a spiritual component, there's a psychological component, there are many other components to healing. And these are, I believe, profound life lessons that can extend also beyond cancer. We have something very valuable that we can share with all of society. So each one of you is a messenger in your own way, with your own very deeply profound and special narrative and story that needs to be heard, needs to be shared. And of course, we need to share our own worries. I'm actually living with cancer today, and I can assure you this has actually been the most joyful phase of my life. How I manage that is something that I'm not quite sure. It's not completely rational, because I'm sure that we all, to an extent, live with this anxiety. When will it come back? Will it come back? What about my family? How do I take care of my family? I know I get anxious before every single blood test. And I get up and I go to the hospital and I take my blood test, but I really believe that only someone else who's walking in the same shoes as me can completely understand. So I'm deriving, just by standing here, so much inspiration and hope by being in this room with all of you. So I thank you for sharing yourself with me as well. I'm deeply grateful to be a part of this, and deeply grateful that I was asked to be a part of this. Thank you, Shona, and thank you, Dr. De Cruz, also for your inspirational speech. And I would like to add on to what you said. I agree that, it is about us as the survivors, as the cancer warriors, about taking this platform and taking it further and leveraging it. But I think that it's very valuable to have an ongoing dialogue with our physicians, with our clinicians, so that we can learn from each other. Because I do believe, of course, that medicine is, and particularly with reference with cancer, there are so many incredible breakthroughs happening that infuse me with great hope. But also at the same time, we are not just data. We are not just numbers. Because I'll share with you just a very quick anecdote. When I was first diagnosed, the first thing that my doctor said to me is, he said, whatever you do, don't Google it. So, of course, that's what I did. That was the first thing I did. And with reference to my particular cancer, I Googled it. And 10 years ago, I would have been given 1 to 2 years to live. That would have been my prognosis. Today, now, with research, with awareness, with a great concerted effort between physicians and survivors, the median prognosis for someone in my position is 10 to 12 years. But of course, I'm not just a number, so I'm going to defy that, as I know all of you are defying it as well. Thank you so much.
Astrid, take one more, please. We'd like you to give. This is for Dr. Shona De Cruz. Okay, to Dr. De Cruz. Okay, that's, yes, of course, doctor, you get one also. Astrid, please take a seat. Shona is refusing to take a gift, so we'll just keep it for her. Astrid, before I invite you to come and say a few words as to what your experience was, there's another young man sitting here in the audience. ये बहुत दूर से आए हैं, उनका नाम है यतिन देशपांडे. इनने हमारे लिए स्पेशल
My.
Don't like diet. Only I can understand. No, I just want to mention.
Hello.
ये देखो ना इसको बोलो अपनी में भी
वो तो पीछे चेहरा पूरा
लीजा मैम योर राइट साइड मैम लीजा मैम राइट साइड मैम यहाँ पे
Where is Shona?
टेबल निकाल दो
Can you make it?
Thank you so much, Devika. Good morning, members of the press, and thank you so much for being here in such large numbers. Dr. De Cruz, Dr. Nav, Devika, and of course Lisa. Me being here probably on this dais is probably the odd one out over here, because everybody else on this dais has done so much, has put in so much of effort towards this initiative and bringing about awareness of breast cancer. And I think everybody knows the amount of work that Devika over the years has been tirelessly, working towards this cause. So I think that's absolutely amazing. I'm just here so I can lend my support. I've known Lisa for really, really, really long. She's somebody who I have seen over the years, and I've had the pleasure of knowing, working with, and of course I've got to know her really closely over the last couple of years. I've yet to see somebody as spirited, as strong, and as beautiful as this lovely lady, because she's really been through a lot, but one would never be able to tell. She's fought through it. She's here, smiling, taking on the world, taking on every responsibility, and it's amazing to see such fighters. I mean, somebody like Lisa is such an inspiration. I mean, we all go through our hardships. We all go through our moments in life where we sit back and we say, why the hell is this happening to me, and why am I, whatever. We sit and grumble. I don't think we have the business to grumble when we see such amazing fighters over here, and yet look so absolutely radiant and lovely. Barring that's just adding a little more support, the pink eye. So all my love and all my support that you have always, and I'm just glad that I can be here for this conference, so we can, at the 4th annual breast cancer conference, where we can actually sit down and lend our support and be truly supportive and be there for everybody. So that's why I'm here, and I wish you all the very best in your initiative. And of course, the Tata Memorial, all the hard work that they've done over the years, I think one can never ever put that aside. Poonam, thank you so much for telling me, and I'm here because of that lady as well, who called me up and said it would really mean a lot, because it is a personal tragedy that we are going, a personal uphill task that we are going through in our family, and it would really mean a lot if you could be here. So thank you so much for doing that, and once again thank you all for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaika. That was wonderful, heartfelt, straight from the heart. I really appreciate you taking the time off. I know you girls are so busy with so much going on. You have a chalak.
I just finished it and I move on to the
Day.
next.
Yes, I know. Is that over with?
It is.
Wonderful.
On to the next.
So we look forward to that, and we know what it took for you to be here with us. We're really grateful. Lisa, may I invite you to say a few words on your commitment to the cause, how you feel about the Survivors Conference?
Well, thank you so much. And first, again, I want to commend Dr. De Cruz for being here and sharing his time and his insights, and taking time out of his busy schedule, as I know, and Malaika, who again is really a great dear friend, and also I believe a real icon of strength and female empowerment, and who I'm blessed to call a friend, and Devika as well, who has been indeed tirelessly fighting for the cause of cancer before it became an issue in my life, and it was always something that I was aware of, and then it took a very different significance, obviously, when I myself was diagnosed. So again, welcome everyone here tonight, and I'm taking off my shades because I do have pink eye, so I think I got a little bit too much into the theme of the breast cancer awareness. I wore pink, and I also managed to contract an eye infection, but you know what, as I said inside the conference, I think that I had a moment. Obviously I felt self-conscious, and I thought, oh my god, my photograph's going to be taken, I'm going to wear my sunglasses, but when you've been through cancer, honestly, the little things don't matter as much. you know, and you have to take a moment and breathe and say, well, what is really important? It's okay. So I have an eye infection. A lot of people get eye infections. We're human beings. We laugh, we cry, we go through difficult times. And the point of being a human being is to share. What we have as human beings in common is our stories, our narratives, and our experiences. And that, again, is really what this conference is about and why it is so important. Because we talk a lot about cancer awareness, we're talking about cancer breakthroughs in the medical sphere, but what people don't realize unless you've been through cancer is how difficult it is to pick up the pieces after you've been through cancer and rebuild your life and create a new normal. And what does that mean and what is that going to look like? And there are so many questions. You know, please remember also that, of course, doctors and physicians today, with the new drugs, with the new therapies, are doing an amazing job healing our bodies. But as a cancer patient, it's up to you to heal beyond the body, to heal your mind, to heal psychologically, to heal mentally, to heal spiritually. And how have I changed? And these are all very, very significant questions that cancer patients need to address. And we need ongoing support. Just because we've left the hospital doors doesn't mean that the care and the healing stops. And we need to discuss these issues. And not just that, I believe that there are very valuable life lessons that someone who has gone through cancer can share to people who have not been touched by cancer. These are simply lessons in how to lead a better life. And that's what we're discussing here. So it's not just about, of course, addressing the fears that you have. Will it come back? When will it come back? How do I feel going in for a blood test? And those are very important issues that need to be addressed. And I myself feel them all the time because I'm, of course, living with a blood cancer. But also, we need to address, as I said, what does this new life look like? You know, we need to address how am I going to rebuild emotionally? How am I going to relate to the world? And what do I have to share? Because honestly, I've been through something, again, which is very profound, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to call it a gift or sugarcoat it or, you know, try to pass it on to anyone else. But for me, it has been a significant experience where I've grown so much as an individual. And that I realized that what I can do now, having come out the other end, and also benefited from so many people's support, from friends, from well-wishers, from other cancer survivors, from people around the world who gave me